Hey guys, welcome to the J-Chip Show. My name is J-Chip, and today I'm going to be talking about my unpopular anime and gaming opinions. Now keep in mind, these are just my opinions, these are my subjective views, and I'm not trying to debate anybody on these. I'm just trying to give you an understanding as to why I like some things or even dislike some things. This video was inspired by a few things. One of them was 2 videos by my good friends Level 1 Anime Noob and Miasma Senpai when they made their videos on their most unpopular anime opinions. And I was in a live stream with Captain Algebra, and I said a hot take, and he said, man, J-Chip, you have some unpopular opinions. And so, might as well just let them all out here on the internet, because why not? I mean, it's a fun thing, and it creates discussion. My first unpopular opinion is that the N64 controller is really cool. Now, I know a lot of people hate this controller just because it's weird, it's big, you can't get all the buttons, but I would argue that this is actually a really good controller. It's actually comfortable in the hands when you're going this way, it's comfortable right here. And yeah, I will agree, the thumbstick is a little crappy, but the rest of the buttons just feel nice, and overall, I just think this is a really comfortable controller. There is a video by Nintendo who made a video talking about why this is good, and I agree with a lot of his takes on how this is a pretty good controller overall. And also, the Jungle Green one is my favorite. I just like that a lot. But yeah, give some more love to the N64 controller, because it's really a pretty cool controller. People care way too much about the score in someone's review. The reason why I don't like giving scores into my review is because people will just jump to that and think that's the entire review. Oh hey, I give Yona the Dawn a 7 out of 10. But you don't really hear my points as to why it's that score. The score is not the review, it's just me giving it a grade. When a teacher is giving you a paper to do an assignment, and when that teacher grades your work, more than likely they're gonna tell you why you got this 70% on your score, and they're gonna give you the things that were wrong about it. And I don't know, it's just, people can be really toxic on the scoring thing, and it's just not fun. And I used to do scores in my reviews, but I since stopped because I just don't think it's, in a review, I don't think it's necessary. Just watch the review and you'll understand why I came to that conclusion. And now that I don't do scores in my reviews, it's really fun because, you know, I get my word out there. The Nintendo Wii U Pro Controller is really lame. Now, it does feel nice in the hands, but I don't know, it just feels awkward trying to go down here to hit your main buttons. I prefer it to be up where this stick is supposed to be, and it just feels awkward. Now, I know it's on the Wii U gamepad, but because of that big ass screen that's on it, it just feels more comfortable that way. And on a regular controller, I would just prefer it to be like this. The Switch Pro Controller literally fixed everything I had a problem with the Wii U Pro Controller. Sorry. This is just way more comfortable to use. You know, the buttons are right up here instead of down here where they shouldn't be. And overall, the Switch Pro Controller is way better than whatever this piece of shit is. Shows like Ruby and anything else that's animated in America or anywhere else in the country other than Japan is anime. On the flip side of that, everything that was made in Japan and everything that was made in any other country, animation-wise, is cartoons. Now, I understand people want to use anime to separate our American animation to Japanese animation, and that's perfectly fine, but I don't understand why people get so butthurt when I say, hey, Ruby is an anime, or hey, Soul Eater's a cartoon. I mean, they're all the same. They're all a part of the same animation umbrella. So I don't understand why people get so butthurt. It's just, I don't understand it, bro. To all of you Resident Evil fans, Resident Evil 6 is actually not that bad. It's actually a really fun game, and I just don't understand where people are coming from when they say this is the worst in terms of story, gameplay, characters, and all of that. And I just gotta ask you, did you not play Resident Evil Survivor? Upgrading to Blu-ray isn't the way to go. Now, I own Serial Experiments Lane on DVD. It's the Genuine box set. I know that there is a Funimation Blu-ray of this show that I really, really like. However, I already own the show. I don't need to buy it again. Now, there is an exception to this rule for me, as I own the DVD copy of Yu Yu Hakusho and the Blu-ray. Now, why? Well, this is my favorite anime of all time, and I want to get like the best versions of my favorite shows. But Serial Experiments Lane just doesn't have the same kind of impact that Yu Yu Hakusho or Fruits Basket does, and so I'm not going to upgrade this to Blu-ray. Plus, I just think the box set of this just looks way more classier than the Blu-ray. And yeah, the Blu-ray looks nice, but I already had the show, so it's no big deal if I have the Blu-ray or the DVDs and not the Blu-ray. Now, just because your game is short doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Now, The Order 1886 got a shit ton of bad reviews just because the game is only like 6 hours long. And honestly, does the game length really matter? Me? No. What I care about is gameplay, story, and overall the controls. And in my opinion, The Order 1886 is a fantastic game. Sure, yeah, it's not long, and I wish all my favorite games were long. But the point is that this game is a lot of fun. And I would like to replay this game someday in the future. Your Name is a pretty good movie, and that's just about it. It's not the greatest anime movie of all time. In fact, I think there are way better anime movies than this. Like Wolf Children, fucking 5 centimeters per second, When Marnie Was There. Even Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark-Sided Dimensions is better than this. Now, this movie is not bad, it's just pretty good. I would go far as to say this is a little bit overrated when people say it's the best anime movie of all time, but I just don't see anything special with this movie. It is good, it's just not great. Animation-wise, though, it's pretty good. Ports, HD remasters, and remakes are all healthy for the community. Now, I understand when Nintendo has a ton of ports for the Switch, and it's a little overwhelming with how many Wii U ports are really on that system. But at the end of the day, it's really good for people that haven't played those games. For example, I've never played Mario Sunshine. I'm going to get Mario All-Stars 3D just so I can play Mario Sunshine for the first time. It's great for me. Now, it's not great for everybody if you already have those games, but in my opinion, I think ports, HD remasters, and remakes are all great for gaming. Now, I would like new games over remakes and all that stuff, but this game was made for a newer audience. This game wasn't necessarily made for me in mind. Well, I mean, it was made for me in mind. It's just this game was targeted more towards a newer generation. And I think that's fantastic because it gives people the opportunity to play these old games for the first time. And I think that's great. Just don't overdo it, because if you're just going to port everything to a new console, it kind of makes the other console just not as special. And my final unpopular opinion. I do not like Metroid. I do not like any Metroid game. I think the entire franchise is not for me, and I don't find Samus that very interesting of a character. Now, when people say, like, the best Super Nintendo games, Super Metroid is always on that list. And to me, I just don't see that. Now, granted, I am a bit younger, and I didn't grow up with that game, but my experience with that game has been horrible. I just do not like the controls. The map layout is just not for me, and Samus is just not that interesting of a character. I'm sorry, you know, she's not. Like, it is cool that we have a female badass, but I just wish he was in a better game. And I appreciate the music and the atmosphere of Super Metroid. It's just, I don't like playing that game. And I just think all the Metroid games that I've ever played are boring. Now, I haven't played every Metroid game, so maybe someday I'll be like, you know what, Metroid Prime, that was pretty good. But so far, none of them have been that special. The only one that I would consider to be okay is Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance. And mainly because I just like the horror elements in that one. And I just like the atmosphere in that one. And, you know, it is what it is. But hopefully they make a Metroid game where I'm like, you know what guys, Metroid is awesome. But so far, Metroid is not awesome. It's just pretty mediocre. And those are my unpopular opinions. Now keep in mind, I'm not trying to say I'm better than you because I have these opinions. It's all subjective, and they're all just opinions. No one's right and no one's wrong. And I'm not trying to debate anybody, I'm just trying to have a good time. Now, comment down below on what you think about these unpopular opinions, and let me know what unpopular opinions you have. I am going to put in the description Miasma's and Level 1 Anime Noobs videos on their unpopular anime opinions, so give them a watch. And, you know, thank you for watching my video, and stay classy.